Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron from A&B Horror Movies, and we are live. And I'm very happy to have Brandon Perras Sanchez and Matt Forgit on today. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. This is going to be so much fun. So what we're going to do is talk about your projects. You are both horror authors. Brandon, an actor, a director, a writer. Matt, you are a horror author. You have a brand new book out, which we will talk about in a moment. And we're going to talk about some of our favorite haunted horrors to watch in October. So that is going to be an absolute blast as well. So let's see. I thought we could kick things off with a kind of a fun question for you both. And that is, what got you into horror? How did you become horror fans? Was it a gateway horror movie perhaps you saw when you were young, or maybe a movie that you shouldn't have been watching at whatever age you were, or maybe it was a book? What was it that drew you both into the horror genre? And Brandon, I love your costume.
Oh, thank you.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go
first, Matt?
because this is my wheelhouse, because I'm all about nostalgia. So I grew up reading, the first books I remember loving were Nancy Drew mysteries, so that was my gateway. And I used to watch Scooby-Doo every day before school. So I consider those my gateways. But we used to have this channel, Fox Channel 5 in Hudson Valley, New York, and they played Friday the 13th Part 3. And I begged my parents to let me watch it, and that was it. They let me watch it, and that changed. That movie changed everything. I loved horror ever since then, and I remember the first 2 VHS movies I ever rented were April Fool's Day and Chopping Mall, and that was it. And then the horror has been my favorite ever since.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, I remember really liking the Michael Jackson video as a little kid.
Yeah,
I loved it, but it was also terrifying.
It was terrifying.
Brandon, how about you?
Yeah, I was mortified of horror movies when I was a kid. It caused a lot of havoc in my life, but I think my gateway was I was really big into folklore and mythology as a little nerdy kid, and I just read a ton of it. And I think that those lend themselves to horror. It always involves monsters and weird magic and people getting killed left and right. So I think reading a lot of folklore and that kind of stuff just kind of guided me eventually into horror. I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2 at my cousin's house, and it ruined my life. Like, Freddy Krueger fucked with my sleep patterns and schedule for a very long time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. I think I finally got over it when I was like maybe in like 5th or 6th grade, and I remember I think like Killer Clowns from Outer Space and
yes,
that's the scary ones, are the ones that got me into it. And my stepsister and I would watch Scream all the time too. My dad had like one of those like illegal black box things, so we'd get like 9 trillion HBO and Max channels. So anytime any horror movies were on there, we'd kind of watch them like 9 times in a row.
Oh my God, that's so good. We've got I love those answers. I love that intro. We do have a couple folks here saying hello. I just want to show them quickly. Erica and Brian.
Hi, Erica and Brian.
You are the best. Let's see. We've got one more. Thank you guys for joining.
Freak.
Excellent. Let's see. So like I said, we're going to talk about some haunted horror movies. But before we do that, I do want to spend a few seconds giving you both a little bit of an introduction. So Matt, I mentioned that you are a horror author. I have some of your books right here, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Let me hold those up. You better watch out. Put that one aside. The Felicitous and How to Be a Professional Mourner. And your new book that is out right now is It's Halloween Here, which
it's always Halloween here.
It's always Halloween here. Okay,
yes.
I was so close. It's always Halloween here. Excellent. So, and we're going to talk about that too. So I can't wait to dive into that a little bit. Brandon, you are also a horror author, so we're going to talk about some of your books. But you're, let's see, you co-wrote, co-directed, and you acted in Death Drop Gorgeous, Saint Drogo, and I think the Blu-rays are finally available from what I've heard. So,
yeah.
And do you have one right there? There it is, Saint Drogo. So if you're looking for Blu-rays of Saint Drogo, let's talk. Let's talk when we get to that. Let's see. And you also act in Hollow Lake, which is your newest project, and that's coming out later this month. And I do have something for you about that. And your books as well, which we'll get to that.
Sure.
But why don't we kick things off and talk about some of the haunted movies that we chose, because I think we have over 10 that we thought we were going to talk about. And the first one is The Shining. A must watch every October.
Oh yeah.
What are
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this absolute classic?
It's a I mean, there's what else can you say? It's a classic. You know.
Yeah.
That's one of the greats.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you were snowed in at the Overlook Hotel, let's say you had to stay overnight at the Overlook Hotel, what would some of the signs be that you would know that you're starting to go crazy?
Probably me not being hungry.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of fun. I just like to live there forever.
Forever, yes.
Yeah.
What
Forever and ever. Yeah.
What would you say? What would you say are the scariest moments in this film?
The lady in the bathtub fucked with me for a long time.
Yes.
It's just so
gosh.
shot too. I love that he used like kind of like a long shot on that lady, and she's kind of, I don't know, just it was just brilliantly shot. I think if you were gonna see a ghost appear, it probably kind of look like that.
Yes, and the blood coming out of the elevator,
yes.
iconic,
Yes.
right?
The little girls.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course,
twins.
the Grady
Yeah,
twins.
I mean,
You can't forget the furries too. They have a place in the film.
The furries, yes. Why do you think this film is so effective? Why do you think it has such longevity and people keep coming back to it every year? Not even in October. You can pretty much watch it any time of year, right?
I think just the set pieces alone, like the set pieces, the cinematography, it's just such a gorgeous film. Like you can freeze frame it at any point, and it looks like a photograph. It's just so well done. The performances are top tier. It just I know they put Shelley Duvall through hell, which is kind of sad, but I mean the performance that they got of her is unbeatable. But yeah, it kind of just showed ghosts a different way too. It's not just like the typical like making weird noises upstairs. It's like they're really, really malevolent and evil, and I don't know, kind of. And it's just so like you said, it's like an isolated location, and that whole hotel is haunted. Every little piece of it, and it's a huge, huge hotel too. It's just like there's nowhere to hide in such a vast space, and that's pretty terrifying.
Yes, and then the maze, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And even the human aspect, I think of it. You have alcoholism, you have an abusive parent, you have isolation, you have Shelley Duvall's character who is not, she's kind of on her own, and I think those are all things that we have either experienced or can relate to, so I think there's a really human component to it.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to your writing, have you ever been inspired by The Shining or Kubrick in general that sort of informed some of your storytelling? Or even, filmmaking, Brandon's perspective?
As if we had the time and budget to actually sit down and really frame stuff out, I definitely would say so. I think Kubrick just has a great eye for that stuff too. And where we try to make things look good, but we're on borrowed time with a lot of the filming. So I think, I don't know if it's a direct link to Kubrick, but I think just I don't know, maybe just how he sets up shots and how those films look is fantastic.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, it's definitely a watch every October, and pretty much any time of year. It's a perfect summer movie as well. Let's see, we've got a few more folks in the chat. Let me just give them a shout out. Melissa says hello to Matt.
Hi guys. Hi Melissa. Hi Poppy and Bowen.
Awesome. Let's see. We also have another shout out here, also for you, Matt.
Hi Shannon. Hi Ryder. Hi Ryan.
Oh, it's so cool. And then Fake Voorhees, Matt. I guess you and I didn't get the memo because I didn't know we were supposed to wear a costume. So Brandon, nicely done.
Brandon showed us up. What you don't know though is this is what Brandon actually looks like every day. That's not a costume. That's just how Brandon walks around town.
When the sun starts to set, this is what happens.
Yeah. He's that weird guy at the end of the 7-Eleven just standing outside,
Oh my gosh, too funny.
You should smell the costume.
Yeah.
Shout out to my shirt there.
Oh, good shirt. Agreed.
Yes.
Hi, Steve.
That is Matt's costume.
Yeah. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Diana.
Oh my God, lots of your crew in here.
Hi, Jake.
Uncle Matt.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's see what's next. How about Amityville Horror? Another haunted classic. Still holds up well, I think. And even though there's questions around whether it really happened or not, or if they just made it up for money. As a film, I think it's a great standalone film, and it's still just as scary as it was back in the day. Margot Kidder is fantastic.
Agree.
What are your thoughts on Amityville Horror?
I'm sorry, I'm being polite, and I'm waiting to see if Brandon wants to talk first.
I took the last one. So.
Yeah. The Amityville Horror. I remember that story because being from Hudson Valley, New York, you grow up knowing the story about Ronald DeFeo, and that story was really terrifying to me as a kid. The fact that he in real life killed all of his family, and then on top of it, the house was haunted. So I was very, very scared of that movie and book as a kid. Actually, it's funny, I didn't read the book till I was a grown up because I was so scared of it. And I also love Margot Taylor.
Terrifying.
So yeah, terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah.
The babysitter getting trapped in the closet. Oh no.
And all the flies and get out.
No thanks.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. And part 2 is disturbing as well. Very different tone, very dark. Very dark. But anyway, Brandon, what are your thoughts on Amityville Horror, the very first one?
I think it's a classic haunted house. I mean, I love that the demonic elements to it, and like you said, like the flies and all. It's just gross and creepy. I also enjoy a lot of the sequels to it too. The sequels are pretty fun. I mean, not like the modern stuff where it's like like Amityville like in space and all that shit, but the ones that are up until like the 90s were like pretty fun. That one with like the artists, it's so absurd and ridiculous and so 90s. And I kind of like the first 5. I think they're great. I mean, they stray far from the original, but they're all worth a watch.
Yeah, isn't there an Amityville toilet out there?
At this point, I think they've had I think they had like Amityville spatula. Yeah. So
there's probably a checklist somewhere out there, and they're just working their way through all the options. So what would you say if you could, would you buy a famously haunted house and live in it? If you
100%.
I'm very superstitious, so I won't even let things that are used in the house. Like I don't want used furniture. I don't want used anything because I believe in mojo, and I believe in things holding energy, like bad energy. So I can't do. I could do it for like a night if you said, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million to spend a night in a haunted house." I'll do it, but that's about as far as I'd go.
Is it million, or what's the lowest amount you'd go down to? $100?
Oh God, this is gonna make me sound bad. Probably 100,000. Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For one night,
like pizza and some beer.
Yeah. No.
How about you? So Brandon, you said you would buy and live in a haunted house. Oh my gosh.
When I moved to Providence, the house we moved into was haunted, so I've lived in a haunted house. Wow. And it's interesting. It's weird.
Say more. What's happened?
Yeah, we moved into a bunch of my friends and I and my band. We all it was a mass exodus out of Vermont into to Providence. It was a much cooler city. It was way cheaper than Burlington, and we moved into this 2-story house, the basement, and the upstairs was the only place that was haunted. The basement was not. The downstairs was not. And then one of our roommates' girlfriends came downstairs one day. It was like, I hate being upstairs by myself. And then everyone just kind of started divulging their experiences and stories. And we had a psychic come, and she told us some pretty disturbing stuff about it. But yeah, we had all kinds of crazy shit going on. It was scary, but like kind of fun. I don't know. It just kind of, made life interesting.
Yeah, I imagine it would be scary if you're home alone and you start to hear things, or go ahead.
No, it kind of was like you just kind of knew the parts of the house to stay away from. It was primarily just the upstairs, but being alone upstairs kind of was creepy. But the rest of the house was okay.
That's a horror book in itself. And I don't know if you saw that's my friend Nicola. Hi, Nicola and Logan, saying I do it for mozzarella sticks, which is probably true because mozzarella sticks will get me to do lots of things.
I love that. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. Tiana.
Hi, Tiana.
Tiana Loves Horror Movies is on. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Good points from AS. Jacob.
Hi. That's my main family. Hi, Jake.
Oh gosh. The whole crew is here. The whole crew is here. That's so awesome.
Thank you, guys. I will say I do have a really good. Hi, Ma. I have a good support system.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, the comments just keep coming.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh, some more.
That's my
mozzarella
better
sticks.
half. He
There we
knows
go.
that I would do it for mozzarella sticks. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, Amityville Horror, another fantastic haunted horror movie that is, I would say you can watch it any time of year, but October just gives you more of a reason to watch these movies all over again.
And it was
one more.
The house got bought, and they're getting rid of the famous windows. It's all changing.
That's so sad. The attic windows.
Yeah.
Don't buy those windows, Brandon. Yeah.
Are they for sale? Oh
Yeah,
God.
don't buy them. Yeah. Yeah.
It's already bought, yeah, but people are evil.
Oh, someone already got them. It's kind of like the real Nightmare on Elm Street house. Have you heard that the guy who lives there put like all the shrubs and trees in front because
really?
he got sick of horror fans showing up and taking selfies in front of his house?
God. I would do that.
Now you can't see it. I think it would start to bother me too.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right along, Poltergeist. This film, I would say, is what nightmares are made of on many levels. It was horrifying as a kid. It's still horrifying now. Holds up well. I don't know. What would you say about Poltergeist?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just missed the 80s when that was a PG movie.
Yes.
So, I saw that when I was so young. Oh, it's PG. Like, just like Jaws. These movies that are amazing that you see in the 80s. And I'm so grateful for it. But, oh, man. It was like a rite of passage, I think, if you grew up in the 80s to see these movies that you were way too young to watch. But I love that I got to see them. Poltergeist is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, me too. I think you can stay in the Poltergeist house now. It's either a museum or it's like an Airbnb, and you can rent it and go stay in it. And they decorated it to look just like in the movie, like the console.
Yeah,
TV,
wow.
And there are like lines in the kitchen, and she would slide across the floor.
Nope.
It's all there. It's all there. I wonder if the clown is there. So for me, I'd say that's the scariest clown ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Brandon, what are your thoughts? Since you lived in a haunted house, the Poltergeist, that's like nothing to you, right? You're like, cartoonish.
I mean, I was getting like stuck into like skeleton pools outside and all that stuff, but I only tried my hands off a couple times in the mirror, but no, it was the Poltergeist around the house. Like we're pretty much locking doors, which is really weird. That's like the main activity we had, locking doors and closing them. So it was a pain in the ass. No, I think Poltergeist is fantastic. I remember those Scariest Stories books with the weird artwork in them. I think the one of the final chapters, one of them is one of the famous Poltergeist hauntings. I can't remember which one it was. I remember that scaring the shit out of me as a little kid too. I think it mentions like some animals walk on their hind legs, like the house cat or dog or something. And when I was a little kid, I used to have nightmares that involved like dogs and cats walk on their hind legs. So I remember like in one of those stories that freaked me out. I think the Poltergeist film kind of reminded me of that story that's in the end of that book. But it's pretty unnerving.
Very much so. So in Poltergeist, the house is built on a cemetery. Going back to the haunted house question, would you buy a house that was knowingly built on an old cemetery, even if the graves had been moved? I know what you're going to say, Matt.
Yeah, no.
even if the graves had been moved, Brandon, what would you say?
No.
Is that a deal breaker for you?
I get weirded out when graves are disrespected, so it kind of depends on like how they were handled. But there's a really great Unsolved Mysteries episode about an apartment complex in California. It's very similar to the Poltergeist story, where they found unmarked slave graves. And it's like when
I remember this,
a ghost possibly killing somebody. Like when the daughter was like a healthy, like in her late 20s, was the parents got pissed. They dug up one of the graves, and the daughter like got some weird like random sickness and just passed away like within 2 days. But like that, there's more to that story too. There's a lot of like ghost sightings and shadow people and poltergeist activity. But I'm not sure what year that happened versus when Poltergeist came out. But there is a lot of parallels between those two.
Wow.
No thanks.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
I did live in Salem on supposedly the most haunted street for about 8 years, and I never experienced anything. Although going in the basement to do laundry was very creepy.
Mhm.
So let's see. Let's take a little bit of a break from the haunted house horrors. And Brandon, I thought we could talk about Hollow Lake, which is your new film. Like I said, it's coming out October 28th, at least according to IMDb. I hope that's still the case. It's basically a weekend getaway for some newlyweds. Takes a very dark turn from what I've read. Can you say more about this project and your role in the film?
Sure, sure. So it's actually my movie. It's I just acted in it.
Of
Um,
course, yes.
yeah, no, but it's supposed to come out this I think end of this month, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's
October 28th, according, like I said, according to IMDb.
I don't want to give too much away. So I'm not sure like what the director Troy has like already given away. So I'll just say it's like kind of like a old school slasher kind of vibes to it. It's a bunch of gay guys and a killer, which is fun. So I'm not sure like what I'm allowed to say and not allowed to say, but I think it's gonna be
Okay.
pretty graphic. The Troy spends a lot of time making sure that it was nice and gross, so it'll be fun.
Hmm.
But the project I'm working on now, film wise, is a film called Queen of the Rats. We're about halfway done filming. For our crew for Monster Makeup, it's like a nights and weekends thing, so none of us can do it make movies full time, which I wish we could. So like we get like maybe like 2 to 4 shooting days a month in. So we're about halfway through, and it's moving along quite nicely. We have all the fun, big special effects and monster effects coming up over the next few months, so that's going to be a good time.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the tagline? What's the premise? Can you say a little bit more without
Oh yeah.
spoiling too much?
Yeah, so the premise is it takes place in Providence, Rhode Island in the mid aughts, and it's about a noise rock band in the artist warehouse scene that was a huge prominent facet of of Providence, and then the mafia itself, which as you know is also built into the fabric of Providence, and then a giant Lovecraftian cosmic horror that lives in the basement of one of the warehouses. So all these stories kind of clash, and it's starting to be it's becoming more of a horror comedy, which I'm fine with, but it's it'll be nice, like flattery, gross, like kind of like more like close to like Death Drop Gorgeous, like that kind of tone. But we've leveled up like production wise, and we've leveled up with just like making it more short and succinct scripts and screenplay. So I think it'll be a fun one.
Very cool. Did you write the screenplay as well?
We collectively did. So
Okay.
whole kind of crew. I wrote a big chunk of the story, but the rest of us all kind of put our little pieces in there too. But it's a big collaboration, but it's going to be fun.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And you mentioned that it's becoming more of a comedy. What other ways has it evolved from, writing the script to actually filming it?
Well, we knew like anything involving like the mafia or like noise rock bands would kind of be campy and kind of funny. But I think like the mafia scenes are becoming really like really over the top, and in a way it's like we made a movie about drag queens before, like Death Drop Gorgeous, but I feel like the mafia is almost like straight drag, or it's like almost cartoonish. It's becoming even more cartoonish, so it's kind of fun.
Cool. Well, I hope keep me updated on that. We'll have to do something in the future when it comes out. That's very exciting. Congratulations. I can't wait to learn more. Let's see. Next, I wanted to talk about some of the books you've written. So you're also an author. You wrote Recessive Nature, which is a novella about cryptid hunters. What can you say about this one?
Yeah, so growing up, like I mentioned before, I spent a lot of time reading about like folklore and mythology, and I think with that, like the cryptozoology books are always in that section of the library, so I kind of naturally took those in as well. And so as a kid, I got really into cryptozoology. It was kind of my escapism too, and so I wanted to. It was a screenplay I read originally, but I wanted to pay homage to like my little cryptid friends, and and I also love folk horror and I love 80s slashers. So I haven't seen a folk horror 80s slasher combo created yet. So I was like, I'm going to challenge myself and see if I can make it happen. Oh, thank you, Gage.
Gage, thank you, Gage. That's nice. I agree. Recessive Nature is awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and Saint Drogo shout out there.
Saint Drogo is awesome.
I appreciate that.
Awesome. So Recessive Nature is available now, and you also co-wrote White Bishop with Aaron Beauregard, and that is a mystery at sea, from what I gathered. I do not have a copy, and I have not read it yet, unfortunately, but I will. And I know you do. You can hold it up. Oh, yes. Excellent. Oh my God, I love the cover art, and it's based on a screenplay that you wrote. So can you talk a little bit about the premise of this book, what it was like co-writing it? And I understand it was adapted from a screenplay of yours.
Yeah, so I'm good friends with Aaron Beauregard, and you know, we were chatting about like I was writing a bunch of screenplays, and he was, you know, he's always kind of been supportive of like the filmmaking that we've been doing too. Like he's actually in St. Drogo too, which is pretty funny. But he had mentioned like, you know, instead of having it's really hard to sell a screenplay. It's like near impossible. But he was like, you know, instead of having all these screenplays just sit in purgatory on your laptop, like you should novelize them and, you know, try to, you know, at least make some money off of them in the meantime. And I'm like, oh, I've never really thought about that. So we sat down. He taught me the ins and outs of, you know, indie publishing, and then we sat down and turned my screenplay into a novella. It was a really cool process to see. Oh, thank you, Julie. And yeah, he's just an awesome dude. So it was really cool to kind of learn the ins and outs of all this. And now I have my third book out and working on my fourth. And yeah, it's been great. It's definitely a different process than writing a screenplay. It's both have their pros and cons, and they're both fun and fun or annoying in their own ways. But I'm glad that, you know, now I can at least make some kind of return on all the time I spend writing these things.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Can you say a little bit about your third and your new upcoming book?
Yeah, so the third one is not adapted from a screenplay. It's called To Break a Pale Yoke. There's a hardcover in the paperback. Gregory Jacobson did the cover on this one. Oh, thank you, Tara. And then my local artist Daniel Kern did the cover for this one. There's some illustrations inside. I originally had a short that I wrote about. It's going to be a Christmas horror that takes place like Eastern Europe with some of their Christmas folklore. They have some really weird, interesting characters in you know, over there, like some Krampusy kind of things. And I wanted to make an American version adapted to an Easter story. So it's a kind of a psychedelic religious horror, body horror thing. There's a lot of like a lot of gross demons, little creatures and stuff in it too. So it's kind of a fun ride. There's a lot more to it too that I can get into, but it'll probably take a while.
It's excellent. That is an excellent book, by the way. So
thank you.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So Matt and I were talking before this. I actually don't have any of your books yet, but let's talk afterward. I will order a copy of each one, and you have to support 100%. Let's see. Why don't we switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit more about the haunted horrors, and then Matt, I'm going to come back and talk with you about your books, which I'm very excited for to do that. So let's see. Next up, I have The Others with Nicole Kidman, a classic haunted film that I think still holds up pretty well today.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on this movie?
I love The Others. That's one of my all-time favorites. I actually remember seeing it in the theater the weekend it came out because I love Nicole Kidman, and I was like, oh, a ghost movie with Nicole Kidman. I think it is such a brilliantly done movie. It's so smart, and all the touches they put in there when they were building the story, all the things too you don't notice till the second time you watch it. I think it's an amazing movie, and I think it holds up so well.
Yeah, agreed. It's so good. Brandon, what do you think? The Others, is that a favorite of yours?
So that one I haven't seen in a really long time. That was one of the ones I didn't have time to revisit. I remember enjoying it, and you know, I think it's you know, got Nicole Kidman in it, so I'm sure it's a good time.
One question I have for you both about it, if you can think back to when you saw it for the very first time, did you see the twist coming? I don't know.
No, not at all.
Away, but
yeah, no, I did not. Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we shouldn't say anymore. Brandon, do you remember? Do you remember the twist?
I didn't remember the twist. I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. When that come out? That was a long time ago, right?
Not 2001.
Yeah,
20. Oh yeah, over 20 years. Yeah.
Last time I saw it was in the theater.
Yeah, the twist is she's an alien. So.
Oh, that checks out.
No, just teasing you.
Yeah, she's an alien.
I'll text you the twist later so we don't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. Okay.
Oh, let's see. So Nicole says, "I didn't see the twist coming. That's what made it so good." Absolutely, and that the seance scene in this is probably one of the most effective and scariest seance scenes captured.
Oh yeah.
In film. Even to the point where they spoofed it in one of the Scary movies.
Yes,
if I remember correctly. And I think that's a sign of creating something iconic. If Scary Movie is spoofing what you've done, just move that out of the way. Let's see. Sort of a fun question here. If you found a hidden room in your house, actually, you know what? I'm jumping ahead. If you were, no, it's kind of silly. Let's move on to The Changeling.
Oh yeah,
probably one of the scariest wheelchairs I think of any film. George C. Scott is just brilliant in this.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on The Changeling?
This is also another one of my all-timers. I love The Changeling. I remember the first time seeing it as a kid, and I was just like, this is awesome. And if you watch the others, Mr. Tuttle is named after the character in The Changeling of Mr. Tuttle. So there's so many parallels between the others and The Changeling. I just The Changeling is one of these movies that how do I put this? Maybe you had to grow up watching it to appreciate it, because I don't know if modern audiences would be into it, but I just think it's so brilliant. And the seance scene in that movie is wild. The little ball down the stairs, just so much of them. And I like it because it's a mystery, but it's got emotion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's so much emotion.
And there's the wheelchair at the top of the stairs.
Yep.
All right, cut you off. Go ahead.
It has a story. I just think it's layered. The performances are amazing. I think that's one of the greatest unsung like haunted house / horror movies ever.
Yeah. Very well said. Go ahead, Brent.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just saying, very well said. The story is fantastic. I love like the political statements that sort of come through in the final act. And I mean, the beginning, how shocking is that?
Oh, yeah.
Accident. I'm getting chills. I think everything about this movie works so well.
I agree.
And if modern audiences don't like it or don't appreciate it, I think maybe it's the slow burn, because it certainly takes its time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so worth the investment. Brandon, what were you going to say or add about The Changeling?
I think like those set pieces, like especially the house too, and that like that early 80s, like late 70s, that grainy footage plays really well with
Gage.
Like Ghost Story and like Don't Look Now and The Changeling. I'll just have that grainy, gross footage that makes it even creepier and feel even more haunted. And also like how The Changeling handles the encounters with the supernatural elements, were almost as like kind of dreamlike and terrifying, and kind of just it kind of just scrambles your senses, and you can kind of see that in movies. Yeah, like just like Changeling, Ghost Story, Don't Look Now, they have a very similar vibe.
Yes,
supernatural. I love all the movies; those are all good, all great.
Agreed. Fantastic cast, fantastic script. I think we are all in agreement there. And let's move on to the next one here, which is The Orphanage, perhaps a lesser known film. It's in Spanish, so it's subtitled. This one really gets under your skin. It's so creepy, the entire orphanage. And then the final act, which has the final act is shocking, first of all. And then even the ending, which is kind of sad, but also kind of a happy ending, I guess, depending on how you would interpret it. What would you say about The Orphanage? Matt, I think you suggested this one.
I love The Orphanage. I do think if you go, it's one of those movies to me that if you go in looking for a straight up horror movie, you won't like it. It's got thrills, it's got chills, it's got mystery, but it's not a straight up horror movie. I think it's another example of, I think one of the things that I think gets underestimated in horror, whether it is writing or directing or movies, I think these emotional horror films, like horror is about emotion and about things and about feelings and about the things we all experience as people. And I think The Orphanage, that's where it succeeds. This is a really gut-wrenching story that has ghosts in it. I think it's a brilliant film, Yeah,
there's a huge theme of there's loss, right? The theme of loss.
Grief.
To grief, and how do you move on when the loss is so great? And then there is sort of they reunite in the end, but I don't want to give anything away. If anyone here hasn't seen The Orphanage, Brandon, have you seen this one? And do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I really like it. I like any of the Guillermo del Toro adjacent directed films. I think there's this little element of like horror fantasy in there as well. And fantasy is my absolute favorite. And I think like all the little proteges of del Toro and all those directors just put out some really cool stuff. And I hope we see more from. I forgot the director of The Orphanage, but I hope we see more from that arena of Spanish filmmakers too.
Yeah, thanks. Like, what is it? The Devil's Backbone is.
Oh God, great movie!
Love that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And thanks, Freak and Caitlin and Gage. They were giving support to The Orphanage as well. They get it.
I'm trying. I may have
you guys get it.
Some folks on here.
They get it. Hey, Travis. Hi, Mirren and Porter. Sorry.
There's some great Spanish horrors coming out. I thought When Evil Lurks was fantastic.
Oh yes, amazing.
some
amazing
really
film.
Terrified. There's some awesome
Yes.
Argentinian horror films coming out. Trying to keep up with the comments here. Let's see. Caitlin says, my idea of perfect horror is to be scared and cry in the orphanage. And yes, UDT has proteges now.
Yes, Caitlin, I agree.
Yes.
Emotion. I like horror and I like emotion,
All right. I'm trying to catch everybody. I hope if I missed you, I apologize. It's only because I'm trying to keep up. Okay, so like I said, Matt, let's. Oh no, wait. There's one more suggestion that Matt you had, and that was your favorite episode of Monsters, which was the match game.
Yeah.
So I watched Monsters, but I don't remember the episode specifically. So I'm going to let you talk about this one.
You came to the right place. So, I'm an 80s, 90s, 70s horror guy. I grew up in that era, the beautiful, beautiful era of VHS horror movies and practical special effects and low budgets, but lots of creativity. That's my wheelhouse. So, of course, at the time on TV, we had Freddy's Nightmares and Friday the 13th, the series, and She-Wolf of London and Tales from the Dark Side and Sightings and these shows I was obsessed with. So, of course, Monsters, I was drawn to that show. And it's season 1, and it stars Ashley Lawrence from Hellraiser and Tori Spelling before she became Donna on 90210 and Sasha Jensen from Halloween 4. So it's got this great stacked awesome cast, and it's about these 4 kids who go to a haunted house, and what they do is they light a match and tell a story, and once the match burns out, the next person has to pick the story up. And one of the stories one of the kids starts to come true, and it's just I can't believe it would have made such a great movie. It's just so good. It's so good, and I highly recommend it to people if you haven't seen it. It's the best episode of the show. I've seen it 100 times. I just love it.
Very familiar. I'm sure I've seen it. I'll have
it was probably 88 or 89. So
there's some funny comments in here. Brandon, have you seen that episode?
No, I've seen episodes of Monsters. It was on Tubi for a while.
Yeah. Sharknado 4.
Bring her back. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
That's a hard watch, but a great movie.
So good. Makes you appreciate your teeth after watching that movie. Right? You walk out, you're like, okay, they're still there. Her original
freak.
All right, Matt, let's talk about some of your books. First off, congratulations on all the horror novels that you've written. Why don't we start with, I have them right here. Why don't we start with You Better Watch Out, because it's going to be Christmas soon, and we will be talking about Christmas horror movies, which is my favorite subgenre. Before we know it. So can you talk a little bit about this? It's a serial killer who dresses up as a reindeer. It's a Christmas horror comedy. Sounds absolutely fantastic. What can you say about the premise of You Better Watch Out?
It started because, aside from horror films, my other favorite kind of movie is Hallmark movies, especially Hallmark Christmas movies. And this was during the pandemic, and I was sitting at home, and I was like, how do I merge my 2 favorite kinds of movies? And I thought, well, what if there's a Hallmark Christmas movie and a serial killer showed up? So that's how that became a book. I was watching, there's this one called, I wish I could remember that, Sweet and Something. It's with Jodie Sweetin from Full House. And her job, her job is she runs a candy cane factory. And I thought, how ridiculous is that? Like, the whole town depends on this candy cane factory. Yeah, like, it's just insane. So I was like, that's ridiculous. So I was like, what's a ridiculous thing that a whole town can run on? And I was like, tinsel. So that's how that started, and then it just went from there. And then thanks, Jules.
Wow, so tinsel. So it's like the entire town is a fire
tinsel
hazard.
It's all tinsel.
All tinsel.
They are obsessed with tinsel.
I gotta say, I love the cover.
Thank you.
It's fantastic, and I love on the fact that you have on the back. You have reviews, blurbs from your family members. It's probably all of a joke in most.
Yeah,
it's really, it's really quite funny. I laughed reading them.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All of my book covers are done by my better half. So, MattKellerArt.com. Yeah, he's a great artist.
Very talented, and I wanted to say, so I did order these a few months ago, and I just want to say thank you so much for the inscription that you put in each book. You put thought. I won't read them out loud. They were very kind. You put thought into each one, and I appreciate that. It was sort
I
of
appreciate the support.
Extra added special touch that I really liked. Makes it more unique and more special to me. Let's talk about the Felicitas next. I'm not sure if I'm going in order, but what can you tell us about this one?
That was kind of my homage to I love cult stuff, like culty movies of the 70s and 80s, and
Yes.
I also love ghost towns. I'm obsessed with ghost towns. I'd love to buy a ghost town and live in a ghost town. Brandon, you're invited. Aaron, you're welcome to join.
Oh, excellent.
You know, I have always wanted to. I watched this
as long
really
as it's not
terrible.
haunted.
Well, I feel like they have to be, right? So I would just hide and you guys can deal with the ghosts. But I used to watch this terrible, great show. It was something like, oh, darn, I can't remember the name of it. I'll think of it when it was on like Discovery. It's these people who go to this lady's ghost town and all this terrible stuff's happening to her, but it's so manufactured. But I was obsessed with it and I couldn't stop watching it. And then I was like, ghost town, cult. So that's how that became a thing, you know. Hi, Melissa.
I don't want to distract.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. So, and also it was, I like to write things about, you know, all my stuff is very influenced by 70s, 80s, 90s horror and slashers and all kinds of ghosts. And, but I also like to write things about just real people, like with friends and family and stuff. So the Felicitas has an element of grief to it and loss and moving on, plus friendships and, so
and a cult, right? So
and a cult, and a cult
sounds fantastic to me.
So
let's see. We also have how to be a professional mourner. Also fantastic artwork. I mean, look at the back too.
Thank you.
Just amazing. Basically, an evil presence attaches itself to a professional mourner. And I'm going to leave it there for you to explain what a professional mourner is, because you can probably do it much better than I can.
It's funny, at one of the cons we were at, and Brandon and I, someone asked me if it was a how-to manual. And I was like, no, it's fiction. They thought it was really a guide to, how to be a professional mourner. But I had read an article about that being a real job in the 1800s and the 1900s. You would hire someone to mourn for those who had no one to mourn for them. And I thought that was really fascinating. And when I was in, you know, I go to therapy, as a lot of people do, which is a great thing.
Of course,
and my therapist said, you should write down how you feel about things in the world, you know, things that we talk about. You should keep a journal. And so that's how that book started, because it's a very grief horror. It's like it does have scary stuff. It has violence. It has gore. But it's very much about this I'm very lucky to have friends and family in my life. I have a lot of support, but I thought, I was reading an article about the loneliness epidemic in people, that we're the most connected we've ever been, but people are the most isolated they've also ever been. So I wanted to write about a person who has no one, and what happens if something this horrible, like a ghost attaching themselves to you, what would this person do? Like, who do they turn to? So that's how that came about. You know, I think it might be my scariest book. I don't know.
Well, the cover is certainly very scary.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. But also I love the whole presentation of it. Now that you've written these books and we have your new book, which we'll talk about in a second, have you translated any of these to the screenplay format? And then maybe Brandon?
I have Brandon for that.
Of course,
and yes. I like all of us, I work full time and I have a lot of stuff going on, and I don't have enough time to do all the stories and novels that I want to write. So I have not yet thought about those things. Maybe someday. Listen, if Netflix is watching, please give me $1 million. You can have the books, you know? So. And
they could be. I mean, chances are that they're not.
Yeah. Yeah. Blumhouse would be great.
Yeah.
So A24, listen, I'm all ears.
Yeah. Shudder.
Excellent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I joke, but that would be fantastic.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
To translate translate them into film. So let's talk about your new book. Can you hold up a copy again and tell us perfect this time of year? And it's also a haunted house.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we planned that. It was more of a happy coincidence.
It's called It's Always Halloween Here. And it's literally a story. I wanted to do something. Usually my books are kind of a slow burn. So I was challenging myself with this one to have a smaller setup and more get to the point. It's the shortest book I've written, and it was inspired by the aforementioned Saturday Nightmares and USA Up All Night, like those movies like Spookies and Night of the Demons. It was very inspired by all of that, the great, amazing B movies I grew up watching. So it was very much a setup of these people are old friends. They go to this house and they can't get out because all this bad stuff is happening. So I hope it's a thrill ride.
Oh, sounds awesome. How is it? For those watching, can they purchase it? Is it
on Amazon? Yeah,
go
on Amazon. Please go on Amazon, buy all the books. I appreciate it so much.
It's a really good book. It reads like you're going through a haunt. It really does. It's
awesome.
super fun.
Thank you. Cool. Although I may go through you again so I can get another awesome inscription on the inside. So we can talk afterward. And Brandon, I forgot to ask you, how can folks buy your books?
BPShorror.com is my initials. Brandon Perras Sanchez with BPShorror.com. And it's also on Amazon as well. Like the ebook and audiobooks are on there. The audiobook for To Break a Paleo should be out probably end of November. It's the ebook's up there, and
cool. And I will make sure to add that to the description as well for those who watch this back afterward. They can check that out. Let's see. I just want to do a quick scan of the comments. There's a lot coming through. Lots of shout outs for the two Matts. I think I may
hi Melissa. Yes.
Showed that one. Love the Felicitas cover.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Caitlin.
Let's see.
Thank you guys.
Also down, yes. How to be a professional mourner. A shout out here. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing, right? How's that for a review?
That's a
shout out to Matt Keller too.
That's my better half. Yeah.
Oh, and he's on too, responding. Okay. They're keeping up with the chats a little better than I am. Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
So I do have more questions for you both, but let's jump back into the haunted horrors because it's so much fun to chat about these classic and newer films, which brings me to the next one, which I would say is more of a modern film, and that is Session 9. The old Danvers Asylum is absolutely terrifying. I know they've torn it down now and built condos, but you can watch it in this movie, and it still scares me to this day. I first saw this in the theater. I went in blind. I knew nothing about it. And I walked out saying, I think that's my new favorite movie. What is I'm getting chills. And that whole intro, I could talk about this for a long time. The whole intro, when all you hear is, hello, Gordon. Oh my gosh. What is your thought? What are your thoughts on Session 9?
Brilliant movie. I think all the acting proper A game. The acting is so good. They just did a lot with like the negative space as well too. The asylum itself is like a whole other character in the film. It's just the whole thing from start to finish is creepy. It's just like a sad movie too. Even when you start getting introduced to the characters and their backgrounds, it's already kind of a bummer. And then just crescendos from there. Funny story about Session 9 in St. Drogo. So Devin, who's one of our friends, he plays St. Drogo in St. Drogo. He lives used to live in the apartment building that was at the site of where that building was, or part of it's still there. Wow. And we had to film some ADR, some audio takes for the St. Drogo character himself. And so we went to there's this field that's behind there that's a bunch of like unmarked graves of the people that were in the asylum. That was the real one.
Oh my God.
So we decided to record the audio in there. We were hoping to pick up some EVP. Nothing got picked up, but it was pretty creepy. And there's like wolves howling. Can't even talk today. Wolves were howling, and it was quite an interesting experience.
Wow.
So yeah, it was cool. but that was where Session 9 was filmed.
Oh wow.
That's
cool.
wild.
Maybe go back to the audio. Maybe you missed.
That's a bad idea, actually.
It was sad when they tore it down, but at least they kept the central structure. And the ending, right? When you hear that voice talking, like what is it?
Oh yeah. I think that's a modern classic.
Oh yeah, deserves.
Yeah, Session 9 is a modern. Attention. I think the people who don't like it are the people that went into it thinking it was a ghost movie. Because it's so much more than a ghost movie. It's again, we've brought this up. It's a movie about emotions and grief and the crushing weight of the world, but there's also an added layer of this, horror and terror in it and fear. And I think it's a brilliant movie. And just the way they used the asylum. I mean, I generally think that's one of the best movies of the 21st century, best horror films.
Yeah, and I understand that they didn't change much because it was a low budget, so they didn't have a budget to change much. They went in, and it's pretty much what you see. I'm sure they made some updates, but for the most part, and you're right, Brandon. It is kind of a sad story once you get to know the characters, because they're sort of they're all sort of desperate in their own ways for to make ends meet, to make money. They're in a tough situation to begin with, and then throw in like this evil presence. I mean, I don't know. Would you say it's the devil? It's certainly some sort of a demonic entity.
Like, what can get worse than doing asbestos removal? I don't know, some demonic.
Right.
Yes, and a demon says hello to you. Oh my
God.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, beyond the obvious, what do you think makes Session 9 so terrifying?
The performances are outstanding. The sense of isolation and the sense of, every character in the movie. What I thought they did brilliantly is each of the characters has character. They all are so distinct, and you have Mike, who's the lawyer who, he's kind of doing this menial job that he feels like, what is he doing with his life? And then you have Gordon, who can't make ends meet and just had a baby. And I feel like that stuff is so relatable to a lot of people, and then you have this horrifying place where all these terrible things happened, which would scare any of us. I would be scared just going into a place like that. And then I think, like you were talking about the demon, like I think the demon feeds off that grief and that insecurity and that fear. I think it was kind of a metaphor for all of those things.
Absolutely. And you're right. By the end, you each character, even it's his nephew, right? I think the younger kid, and very effective. This movie is a perfect example of a lot of what you don't see is what's terrifying. Like when you hear what actually happened to his at his home in Lowell, you don't see it, but you hear what happens, and that's just shocking. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah, modern classic.
And I love the one scene. I forget the kid's name. Is it? Oh my God,
Jeff with the mullet.
I have the poster right over here. What's his name? The actor.
Brendan Sexton.
Sexton the third. Yeah. That's too funny. I have that Session 9 poster right there. When he's running down the hall and the lights start going out.
Yes.
Like the darkness is chasing him. Brilliant. I'll leave it at that. That's the last thing I wanted to say about Session 9. Next up, kind of a fun one, 13 Ghosts. I don't know if it's scary, but I don't know. It's an awesome haunted house film. How modern and cool with all the different evil entities that we get introduced to. And I've heard people say that each one of those villains could have had their own spin-off film, which we never got and we probably won't. And a fun cast too, right? Matthew Lillard is in it.
Oh yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth, I think, is in it.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your thoughts then? Yeah, Tony Shalhoub, of course. What are your thoughts on?
How do you not love him?
Of course, yeah. It's a fun, modern haunted house film.
Yeah, that's a fun one. It's dumb, but it's fun. Yes. And that's okay with me.
Yeah, agreed. Maybe we don't need to say much more. Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah, I appreciate how self-aware it was. I think it knew it was just going to be like a midnight movie. And in a smart way too. I think sometimes movies are too self-aware, it can backfire. But I think they kind of figured with the content they had, it's like, you know what, like it is what it is. Let's just put it out there. And it is very tongue-in-cheek the whole time too. But it's so fun. Like that's like, I'd love to go to a drive-in and see something like that. Like I feel like we don't get a lot of that anymore, but
yeah, agreed. I love that the house is like a puzzle in itself, like a puzzle box, kind of like an homage to Hellraiser and the box.
Yes.
The boxes in Hellraiser. Maybe not as dark. Okay. I mean, it's a fun watch. Maybe we'll just leave it at that. Let's see, a few chats coming in. Caitlin asks, should be interesting to hear our take on horror movies that get marketed one way, but then actually turn out to be something very different. Gosh, what's a good example of that?
Maybe, you know what movie comes to mind? I don't know if, Caitlin, I don't know if you're listening, but when I was told to watch The Babadook, I was told that it's the scariest movie ever made and all this stuff. And then I watched it, and I think they did a really good job of making it a rumination on grief and everything. But I was like, no, I was like, please don't do this. Like, don't tell me a movie's scary. And then, because I was going into it like, oh, The Babadook, and what is this, and it's really just a movie about trauma, which, it was really well done. But I think that's a perfect example of like, or The Village is another one. They, it got marketed as this terrifying new movie from the guy who directed Sixth Sense. And then we went to it, and it's like a love story. And I remember at The Village, the audience booed at the end. So, and that's the only movie that's ever happened, and people were booing when it was over.
Not one of my favorites. That's
not me either.
Yeah.
It's okay, He tried.
He tried. Movie. Yeah. So his trademark punchline endings.
Yeah.
I think from a marketing standpoint, it does really well because how hyperbolic everything is. Everything's it gets everyone to the theater, and I'm hoping the audience catches on soon enough and starts demanding better. I'm getting kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
There's been a few movies of the last few years that have been marketed as one thing, and they're not when you go see it, and it's a little aggravating. I don't know. I think some of these movies coming out now, the ad campaigns and marketing are more interesting than the actual films themselves. That's something that they should take a look at.
Yeah, agreed. Or I find that trailers these days give away the whole movie, so I try to avoid trailers. Certain trailers.
I agree.
It's like, well, they're not going to live because you just showed in the trailer that they died.
I've also seen some backtracking with this thing failing as well too. I hate talking shit on some movies, but like great example is like Malevolent when that came out, or what? That's called Malevolent, right? With the what the heck was it called?
Malignant.
Yeah. The guy that
has like giallo dark horror, and then when everyone saw it, it's like kinda, and then they backtracked like, no, it was actually supposed to be funny, and it's like, well, that was never said in any initial interviews. So I think sometimes you're going to market your movie one way, and it backfires when people are like, nah, that ain't it, and then you're going to come back around and say, oh no, we meant to do that. It's just kind of a weird look.
And then Gage is bringing up hide and seek in the comments.
Yes, I can see that.
I saw that in the movies as well. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I was very upset that they killed Elizabeth Shue. I love her, and that kind of ruined the movie for me. I was like, it kind of made like, and I know that happened kind of before we knew, so I was already kind of upset with the movie before we found out the twist.
The twist there.
Yeah.
Well, one movie, speaking of twists, and we're going off the rails a little bit here, Identity. So that's a film where you watch the whole thing, and then in the end you find out it was all in his head. Did that work for you, or did that movie make you feel duped?
I actually love that movie, regardless of the.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't 100% love the ending, but I do love that movie, and I think it's a really fun ride, and what a great cast. Yeah. And I know this is. I would never say this to someone in real life, but I do love when the kid keeps yelling, "Whores don't get a second chance." Like that's funny, like it's just a really funny thing to have a kid yelling in a movie. I would never speak to someone like that in real life, but I really enjoy that movie.
And there you go. I do too. I was trying to think of like a movie where there's a punchline ending, because we were talking about The Village and films like that where it ends in an unexpected way. I don't know. I can't think of any others that does it effectively like Identity. But I remember when I first saw it, I was like, oh, come on. That's that's the twist in the end.
Yeah.
But I've come to appreciate it for what it is. Okay, I digress. Let's talk a little bit about The Legend of Hell House, a 70s classic, slow burn.
Yes.
But for me, it's a must-watch every October. I think this is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
How do you think this holds up to other, I guess, classic haunted house stories? How would you rank this amongst some of the other films like it?
It's got all the elements there. It does it right. I mean, again, it kind of has that same grainy footage, like Ghost Story and The Changeling does too. And the set pieces are great. It just looks creepy. It's dimly lit. It's great. That's a really good one.
I agree. Brandon and I have the same. We love that 70s, 80s. I love that aesthetic. That will immediately get me to watch your movie. And I love Roddy McDowall. So I just love him. And I like that. I like that it's the type of movie that, it came out in 73, I think. And I bet it was totally shocking for the time. Like, it probably wouldn't shock young people today, but I love that kind of imagining what the audience felt the first time they saw that. And I've also read the book it was based on. So I love Richard Matheson. So I love that movie.
I love it too. Look at the cover and the tagline: "For the sake of your sanity, pray it isn't true."
Yeah, it's just a relic from an awesome time.
Yeah,
agreed. And early 70s too, right? 70
or 73, I think.
Yeah,
73. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Even looking at the pictures on the back. I haven't watched it yet this year. I'm gonna check it out very soon. Let's see. There are a couple comments here. Identity. Yeah, modern giallo vibes. Oh, there's a good one. High tension.
Yes.
Split personality ending, and I hated it I hated it for that when I first saw it, but I love it now. So there you go. How do you feel about that one?
I love it. If that movie didn't have the gore, I think it would lose its rewatchability. But yeah, that ending is it's a tough one to digest. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks on that one,
and it doesn't make sense, like logistically, right?
No.
Now it's like a ripoff of Dean Koontz's Intensity. The book, if you read it, it's identical to the film up to a certain point, and then the book goes in a different direction. And I heard that when Dean Koontz was asked about it, he said something like, "I'm not even gonna give a movie that's such trash the time of day to file a lawsuit or something."
Wow.
So Dean Koontz didn't. Coming from Dean Koontz, who I wouldn't say is super highbrow, but it creates some really good intense stories. Intensity is a classic book. There you go. Let's see what else is on the list. I know you guys are looking forward to this one, and that is Spookies.
Oh,
fantastic film. Goes off the rails. Doesn't make sense all the time, but my God, it's so much fun. And
this is my wheelhouse. So we're in my zone right now. Spookies is a classic. Yeah. I watched that movie 3 million times on USA Saturday Nightmares. I love that movie with all my heart. I don't care that it's ridiculous. I don't care that it doesn't make any sense. I love every one of those people in that movie. I love the crazy, excellent special effects on that. Practical special effects on that tiny, tiny budget. And it's crazy to know they filmed that in 84 and they came up with those practical special effects and we're using CGI now. Yeah. It's wild to me. And I just love that. It's so charming. That movie is so charming. The characters are ridiculous. The monsters are great. It's, I know the whole backstory about how it was 2 movies spliced into one. So I know there's a lot of bad feelings about it on the behind the scenes. But just, you talk about a movie that holds that special place in someone's heart. Spookies is, that's like top 10 probably for me. I had it on earlier today. I've probably seen it 1 million times.
I didn't even you must have the Vinegar Syndrome edition.
I do.
Physical media collector.
I do. I needed to know all the behind the scenes. I need to see.
Brandon, what you're going to say? Yeah.
That era of just 80s where it's just like this feral Wild West of just make whatever comes to your mind. Like I love that whole arena. You have like Demon Wind, and Neon Maniacs.
Demon Wind. Oh God, Neon Maniacs. Yep.
Just over the top special effects and just I don't know. They're just fun. It's just these coke fueled masterpieces that they kept like around the 80s like every other week, and they're so good. I think the movies were kind of making themselves as they went along, which is great. I don't know if half these ones even had scripts, but I mean it's just like you can't ask for anything more. It's just you have every kind of ghost possible. You have Grim Reapers, you have like fart monsters, you have Spider Woman. It's just
Spider Woman,
warlocks. Yeah. It's just it's like you took a bunch of Scooby-Doo episodes and mashed them together.
That's probably the best description I've ever heard of it. Is a bunch of Scooby-Doo episodes mashed together, which is probably why I love it so much. It's just it was made for me.
Birthday parties gone wrong. There's so much. Do you have a favorite monster from Spookies? If you had to choose?
My God, it's like choosing between your favorite children. I don't have children. I just have horror movies and books. Yeah, I mean, I actually love the cat guy. Like, I know it's not cool of me to, but I love him. He's ridiculous. He's got a hook hand. And I'm sorry, that opening kill where he kills the little kid, like, I was young when I saw that movie. You
Yeah.
did not kill little kids in horror movies. And this kid's like, hey,
Right.
I'm 13. And he bashes him over the head with a shovel and buries him alive. So,
Yes.
you know, like, that was terrifying to me as a kid.
I think like the Spider Lady might be my favorite.
She's good. Oh, the effects on that.
She's thriving. You know, I love it.
Yeah.
I would choose the Spider Lady. Let's see. We have became a YouTube member. Awesome. Thank you for that. And let's see. Brandon said the thing poster is awesome. I watched it. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Behind you. Oh, good eye, man. That's cool. Let's see. How do I? All right.
I would love. I wish there was like someone trying to do Spookies-esque material. It's just such a fun. And give us money.
Yeah, please. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. And again, too, like you said, Matt, the prosthetic effects and the practical effects, like even though they're a little cheesy, they still I think look better on film than the CGI we have now. I think CGI just buries these movies. Like we just watched the new Toxic Avenger. I liked it better than I thought I would, but I think like what really tanked that movie was just the corny CGI. And I think the original Toxic Avenger, like the stuff, like some of it's not my favorite, but like the special effects were fun. And in Spookies too, it's like they got so inventive with what they were doing. And the whole movie is just so much fun. Like I can't think of a better like midnight movie. I don't know. I love that shit. I think if there was a movement of getting that kind of that irreverent, crazy haunted house shit back, I think people would really dig it. It's I don't know, it's fun.
It's just hi Swift.
What's that?
Yes.
I don't know who Swift was, but I wanted to say hi to them. So they said have a great stream.
Just got back
so
from,
thank you.
Yeah, no, yes.
I
hey
hope
man,
Comic-Con was fun.
nice to see you on. Yes, that's awesome.
And just to add to what Brandon was saying, just because this is so like he and I talk about this all the time, I think there was a time in the 70s and 80s where you were making these films and you did it because you loved it and because there was passion for it. I can give you, I do not care what kind of horror movies you like. I will not judge you. The only time I think I really judge a horror movie is when you made it without any soul or without any heart. And I think that ruins a movie for me because I like some really bad stuff, but I watched a movie like Spookies and you could tell they loved what they were doing. They loved it. So that makes me love it, and I think that's all I would ever ask for in a book or a movie or a show is even if it's terrible, if you cared about it and I can tell, I will totally support you.
Yeah. I wish people had that lens when they went to watching movies more. I think you'd have a lot more fun. Like what are you watching right now? Like, you'll go look at Letterboxd reviews of like Sledgehammer or Things or like Hallucinations. These movies are made on like grandma's Christmas cards with $20 in it. So like the director is the budget for these films. And like I get so annoyed when I see these reviews where it's like looks cheap, this sucks, blah blah. And it's like no, these movies are really fun, and these people had to get really creative with how to make it good or make the gore look good. And it's like campy, but like what did you think you were getting into? And I think those movies are just so cool. I love seeing like what people and they're forced to create with what's in their basement or garage or what's on the free section of Craigslist. It's just so much more fun. So I think it's like a revival of like or appreciating these films more too. Especially now like that, I became a filmmaker myself in the micro budget end of things too. It's like it's changed my whole outlook and view on how I view all movies now too. And I think it's important for people to remember like what they're watching, what the audience is, and what you're getting into. But I agree with you, Matt. I think like seeing when you see someone's passion put into something that absurd, I love it. Like I live for that shit.
Me too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Even some of the worst movies, if someone put their heart into that film, which is one of the reasons why I don't like to give negative reviews. If I really like a movie, I tend not to give a negative review. And I do want to give a huge shout out to Swift. Hey man, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for the donation. And we will
thank you, Swift.
After this. Yes. Yeah, he's a good guy. That's awesome. Let's see. So let's take a little bit of a break before we talk about more of the haunted house horrors. But I also want to say that you both are in very good company. I love 70s, 80s horrors. I would have you both on in a second just to talk more about 80s horrors. So let's make it happen.
Tell us when. Tell us when.
This is an absolute blast. And I'm being, not because we're live streaming, I'm being very sincere. Let's see. So I wanted to ask you both a little bit about, I know you attend conventions together. Can you talk about what that's like? I know you share tables to promote your books and products. Can you speak to that? And perhaps even how you met? I'd love to hear how you guys met in real life and became the good friends that you are.
I about 2 years ago we started going to cons because I had one or two books out, and I want to give a shout out to Joshua at Horror Depot and Dave and Brandon at PVD Horror, because they're great guys who always include me in everything. And they did that when nobody else was asking me to be a part of anything. So at one of these
Cool.
events, I was introducing myself to some authors. I will say not everyone was the friendliest, which is okay. But I met Brandon, and Brandon was just like, "Hey, we're buds now. Like, we're friends. Come see my movie that we shot. They're showing it in Boston, which is where Matt and I live." And we went and saw Brandon's movie, and we loved it. It was awesome. And I remember even saying to Matt when we went to see the movie, I said, "Okay, here's the deal. If the movie's terrible, we don't have to be friends with these guys." So, and we thought the movie was fantastic, and that's it. And Brandon and Ryan have been me and Matt's friends ever since. And the thing I love the most about the cons is the connections you make with people. There's like readers who have become friends, and there's other authors who have become friends. People that I really admire as authors have become friends, and they're very supportive, and you feel that love because the indie circle, we don't have these giant budgets, and we don't have promoters and marketers. So we're out there doing everything ourselves. So you depend on the kindness and the support and the love that you get from friends and family and readers who become friends. So I think that's the amazing part of it, is we're a couple years into this, doing this, and we have like a circle of people that we love to see, and that they're like our people.
That's fantastic. Perfect answer.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, it's just I really, it's getting to know the world of the indie horror cons and stuff has been really fun. And like Matt said, there's a lot of really great people. It's a wild landscape. Like, it's really hard to be an indie author. There's a lot of indie authors. It's you have to sort through, and you meet a lot of people. And trying to think of a nice way to say this. I think like people, myself and Matt, like being like gay authors, we're kind of like on the we're like the weirdos on the outskirts of things. And I think sometimes that can be a benefit too, because we've met a lot of really cool people that way, and it's been really pleasant. And it's nice for once that the majority of the drama is not gay people. So it's fun to sit back and watch and be like, yeah, no, we're not getting involved in this shit. And it's and just being a part of just having that mindset, it's like sent us in the direction of a lot of really great people who just really love the craft. They love supporting indie authors. They're awesome. I could list like 20 people right now too.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was gonna name some people, and I was like, oh, I can't leave anyone out. Yeah.
Like, without like the people that set up these cons, like the Scares That Care and the PVD Horrors, all these things, the people that put all the work into it are doing the Lord's work for us. Like, we can't.
They are.
Them too. And then the people that like go to all these cons and buy everybody's books and support authors, people will come there just to like, hey, I've never heard of you. I'm going to buy your book, and that kind of keeps us afloat as we keep progressing in our careers. So it's been a good experience too. The horror world's got a lot of really great people, and it's a really solid community too. And glad to be a part of it.
Me too. And it does mean a lot. Like, it really, like, I always try to express to people, like, to you it might be just buying my book, but to me it's like the whole world, or you made my whole day just buying my book, or coming to say hello to me and being like, hey, I shouted you out online. Like, those things make it a huge difference in my life.
It's making those connections, and in any environment you're going to run across people who aren't the nicest, let's say, and you're better off not knowing them. And I would say it's their loss, right? It's the meaningful 100%. Meaningful connections that matter. I know both of you, we've been connected on Instagram for a long time, and so this is the first time we're actually chatting, and it's a hell of a lot of fun because we all love horror. So
yes,
that's awesome. Yes. Can you talk a little bit about some of the upcoming conventions? I know you mentioned them a little bit, but if you can plug some of the events coming up so people can come out and meet you, perhaps.
Yeah, next Sunday, the 19th, We have the PVD horror, little pop-up shop of horrors, and we love those guys. They're awesome and huge indie supporters. And Brandon and I will be there with a lot of other amazing, talented, awesome authors and readers and creators and artists and vendors. And it's just a really fun event. And it's in Buttonwoods Brewery in Providence, Rhode Island. And that's always a good time. And we always have fun doing that. And then Brandon and I will be at Scares That Care in February in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, cool. Road trip. Or will you fly? Is that a road trip event?
We're going to road trip. Matt and I just road tripped with Brandon and Ryan. Yeah. We just did the last road trip to Virginia together. So we're going to do another one.
Oh, cool. That'll be a fun event. Hopefully I can make it down to Providence. It would be awesome to meet in person.
I think, Brandon, do you have any others that I know you had something coming up, right?
Yeah, I got on November 22nd, the Brooklyn Indie Book Fair, which I'm really excited about. And then on February 27th, I'm sorry, not February 27th, January 24th, the Dark Drafts Festival in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, which is got a really great lineup too. It's in a brewery that has catacombs in the basement. So what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
It's awesome. And that seems like a really good group of people too. The lineup is pretty solid. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming up. And then we have Laura's event in May too. That's way out there, but definitely.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Like, my brain's like fried tonight.
Oh, Readers Mayhem is in May of next year. It's put together by the really wonderful Laura Bilodeau, who's a doll, and she's getting a whole bunch of us together. It's in Connecticut.
That's a solid line to do. So if anyone
great authors.
Yeah.
Well, when we do this again in the future, you can plug those events as well. I've got to show this. Yeah, absolutely. I've got to show this Carry Encore. So karaoke encore.
Yeah.
My knees are still scraped up from the.
Brandon and I just did AuthorCon. It was the Killer Pride in Virginia. We just did that one, and we met so many awesome people. And Brandon puts on quite a karaoke show. So. It's a sight to behold. It's really show stopping. I'm being genuine. It's like a showstopper. So
it sounds like a blast.
And that's actually a really good vocalist too. So
I know I missed my chance on American Idol. Oh, and that's my friend Nicola, who is also an indie writer, and she is fabulous, and she has stuck by me since day one, and I've known her since I was like 18 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah, unless you're a jerk. Perfect way to describe it. And well said, Nicola, you said. Okay, so we're getting to the end a little bit here, but we do have some more haunted films to talk about. Gosh, I think we have 5 more, but maybe we can go through these. And then before we went live, I told you I always do a this or that segment. I put together kind of a fun this or that segment, which I think will go fast. But let's keep it going with the haunted horrors. I've got the Innkeepers here, slow burn, Ty West film. Fantastic finale. The whole creepiness of this inn, and then it turns out it really is haunted. Spoiler alert. I just love this film. I think the cast is fantastic. The pacing is perfect, and that ending just sort of as a punch to the gut. It's so damn good. What do you think about the Innkeepers?
I love Ty West, and I love The House of the Devil. So my only minor complaint about the Innkeepers is I'm a softie and I don't want to ruin the ending, but I just wished, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but I wish someone who was unalived was not unalived because it made me sad. But
yes, I agree.
I'm the softie. I always like, I'm soft at heart.
Well, it goes perfectly with House of the Devil. And the reason why we didn't include House of the Devil, because it's not a haunted house. It's more cult-like.
Yeah.
But perfect double feature, I think, because they have a very similar feel to that.
Yeah, and the slow burn.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think, Brandon? Any major thoughts on the Innkeepers?
Yeah, it reminds me of I liked Ty West better when he had no money. I think his strongest was when he had a smaller budget. I know it's like sacrilege. I love the director's cut of Cabin Fever 2 as well. It is such exquisite trash in the best way. It's so bad and good all at the same time. But I do like the Innkeepers. I think his earlier stuff was great. I think I'm more partial to House of the Devil. I do like the set pieces of Innkeepers. I love how it was filmed in that weird hotel, and I think the ending was unexpected. And I like the build up to it too. There's definitely some genuinely kind of jarring and creepy moments in it that he did a good job of capturing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's a perfect rainy Sunday day movie with all the lights out. Make some popcorn. The Innkeepers. Yeah. All right, let's see. We've got to mention Hell House LLC because I think this has the scariest clown ever. What a surprise this film was.
Yep.
It's like it's the found footage. There's a mockumentary style to it. And that clown, oh my God, when it starts to move and you mostly see it move off camera. Wow. What do you guys think about? I mean, maybe it's a trilogy, but the first one I think is the best. What do you think about Hell House LLC?
I mean, I love the original Hell House LLC. That I think you put it really well too, where it was a surprise. I love those movies you go into thinking, "Oh, this is going to be not great," and then it was awesome, and it's actually scary. It's like an actually scary movie. I won't go on and on because I have a tendency to get there's certain things I don't like about characters in horror films, about how they are so unlikable and obnoxious. I get on a little rant about that. My only issue with the movie is the character of Paul, who his entire existence is making women feel uncomfortable, and I think he's the only thing I didn't like about the movie, but I like everything else.
Yeah, I think where that movie excels is again, it just goes to show you can do a lot with a little. Like it's just simple, like moving that. Like the clown doesn't really do anything. It's just they put it in different spots. It moves a little bit, and it's so effective. I love one of my favorite things about found footage is sometimes the lack of score can actually add to the movie's tension. And I think I think they did a really. The sound design was very smart in how they filmed it too. Like there's a lot of silence in the right places. There's a lot of cacophony in the right places, and it's just and those like the extreme shifts in sound are also like kind of like audio jump scares, but they did a really good job with that. And again, if you watch it like that, the budget must have been tiny, and it's so effective.
So effective.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of movies try to like emulate that film, and I think they got to go back and really take notes on like why was this film effective. And I think they were just really smart about it. It's brilliant. I really enjoyed it. And like you said, that was a surprise too, because that was like in a time period where there was like 9 trillion of those kind of films coming out, and like a lot of them were fine. And I was like, oh, here's another one like very similar like covers to like on Tubi and shit. Yeah. So like. I had a couple of friends who were like, "No, it's actually really good," and we checked it out, and it was a nice surprise. So I give those guys a lot of credit.
Yeah, it's very good. I agree. I have not seen the newest one that was out in the theater. I hear it's not very good.
I mean, they're getting a lot of mileage out of that clown. They did it again in the 4th one.
Yeah. Yes. If only the clown like, said something, right? It said something. I want to show Swift's comment here. There's a bookstore in New York City that just opened up about a month ago.
Awesome.
And it's New York City's only horror bookstore. How cool is that?
Brandon, you got to go when you visit.
The Twisted Spine. Look it up. Yeah, look it up next time you're there, and I will do the same. And Julie says Paul can go to hell, and I think we all agree that Paul should go to hell. There we go. Okay, a couple more movies. We can probably do this quickly. The House on Haunted Hill remake, and I don't have a copy of the original. At least I couldn't find it on my shelf. The remake is fun. It's kind of campy and
can't be fun.
Entertaining. Can't be fun. It was fun in the theater. It's kind of forgettable, but also entertaining to revisit every now and then. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about these, but about these films? What are your thoughts? And maybe which one do you prefer? The OG or the remake?
Oh, the OG. Always the OG. Yeah, always.
Hated that.
I think the House on Haunted Hill remake.
You hated
not
it.
that I don't like it. I just I wanted more from it, and it's too much CGI for me.
Yeah, and not very good CGI.
It's of that time period.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy that time period very much, so it'll have like that place, but it's not something I like. If I see it on streaming, I usually pass right by it.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we don't need to say anything else. Speaking of bad CGI, like Event Horizon is one of my favorite movies.
Great movie.
The beginning when you can see the plastic bottle floating now. It's just that's the one scene. It's like, just doesn't look so
great
good.
Movie though.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So good. Okay, Ghost Watch, the British film with Mr. Pipes that scared an entire country when it aired. It aired once in the UK. It never aired again. And like My co-host watched it when he was a kid, and it terrified him. He thought it was real, and it was the scariest thing he's ever watched and lived through. So there you go, Ghost Watch. I mean, I didn't watch this as a kid. It didn't air over here, but I've seen it as an adult, and I can see how this scared a lot of people.
Modern War of the Worlds.
Yeah, Modern War of the Worlds.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think about Ghost Watch and Mr. Pipes?
Fucking love it so much. I love it's like the concept of it. It's just like what they went for, what they did. It's just so smart. It's actually creepy. Oh my god, I love it. I wish there was still shit like this. I don't know how you do it now. I mean, now with like AI and everything, it's like now everything you watch is Ghost Watch when you turn on your fucking phone. So it's like,
yeah, it's so good. And even if you watch it, even watching it now, it's so scary. And it's a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah,
it's like shocking. And that very end scene when the host is like speaking gibberish, like limericks. Yeah.
It would have terrified me as a kid. I think I saw
frightening.
it. Yeah, I think I would have totally believed it if you showed that to me as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would have 100% thought it was real.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
we sort of got. Yes, exactly. And they promoted it as like a fun family event you can watch Sunday night, Sunday night movie kind of thing. I think the closest thing we kind of got to that is the Blair Witch Project with that marketing, that sci-fi documentary they aired before the film. Because when I first saw that, I was terrified. And then I found out the next day it was fake and sucked the wind out of me a little bit. But it was so effective. And
it was a great time to be alive, though. During that whole,
it sure was so good. Okay, we're almost.
Did the same thing too, like the, saying it was true story. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the original, kind of played with that too. Like, people were like, "Oh, this is real."
Yes, yeah. Well, The Strangers too, like they said.
The Strangers.
But then it's so loosely based on, I think it was the Manson murders, and that was just a marketing play. Okay, the last one, The Conjuring. Fantastic film, still the best one in the series. I think the new one, I didn't mind the newest one that just came out. The third one was a miss, and the second one's pretty good. But the first one is so damn good. The cast, the story, the clapping. Oh my god, it's just fantastic. What do you guys think about The Conjuring?
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I love this movie with all of my heart, and it's one of the best movie theater experiences we ever had. I was so excited for this movie. This movie goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is the passion. You can tell this was made by people who love 70s and 80s movies. There's something about it, and I know people like to dismiss the series as however they dismiss it, and I agree. The first one is 8 million times better than any other ones in the series, but there's so much care put into the first film, and the acting is so good, and the sets are so good, and the scares are so good. You can just tell it was made by people like us who love horror. And that's, I think, made me love it more to watch it. It's just it's so good. I've seen that movie way more times than I can count. I think that's, to me, one of the top 5 best 21st century horror films.
I have to agree, I think. And I saw it in the theater too, and it was a sold out show, and it was just
it was a blast.
And I don't think anyone was on their phone or answering their phones or talking. It was just the experience. Brandon, what do you think about The Conjuring? Do you think it's a modern classic as well?
It's fine.
I saw him smiling. I was like, you're not going to get that answer.
I don't dislike it. I don't like it. There's something about those directors in the film style. There's a little like tongue-in-cheek side gaggy thing that kind of like continues to seem like characters in the films that kind of takes you out of it a little bit. But I mean, it's a minor complaint. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that. Are there any Conjuring spin-off films that you love, or is that it? You don't have to answer that. None. Let's move right on to. Did you say none or the nun?
I was making a joke. It was just...
I'm kidding. Let's move right on to the this or that segment. So what I did is made a franchise edition. So I'm pairing franchises here from the horror genre, and you just have to pick one or the other. It's usually kind of fun, and in most cases, there's no right or wrong answer, but we shall see. The first one I have is Saw or Hostel.
I don't particularly love either. Saw, I guess I'd pick.
Yeah, I actually like really liked Saw 2, the second one. I really enjoyed that one. And the thing I like about Saw is like they use a lot of practical effects and they're fun. Like they're like a one and done for me. But like yeah, both of those series is a lot. I liked Hostel 2.
Yeah.
I love Heather Matarazzo from Welcome to Dollhouse, and it was really
yeah.
get murdered.
Yes.
And that was like
yes.
really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I give them props
And
for
a brutal murder too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have to go with Saw.
Okay. Yeah, she's fantastic and welcome.
I love her too.
Okay, I think I know what you're going to pick here, Brandon. Child's Play or Annabelle?
Some Child's Play.
Yeah, I'm Child's Play
Child's
too,
Play.
as well. Child's Play.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what's a scary killer doll.
Yeah.
And Annabelle is all I could come up with. I would say Child's Play too.
Okay. Series was a nice little surprise too. It's so fucking gory.
Yeah.
I was not ready for like how graphic that show's going to be. It's fun too. And, old Devin Sawa, it's hot as fuck, so that's a nice little pleasant surprise.
Okay, moving right along. Paranormal Activity or the Blair Witch Project? The Blair Witch films.
Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, except, I don't know, Book of Shadows, are you a fan of it, or did we not talk about that film?
I wish they would have let him do what he wanted to do with that movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's something I don't like it. I don't dislike it. I watched it a couple years ago, and it's so weird. There's some choices.
I'm not a fan of that weird time period slow motion they do. It's specific to that period of time because it's not scary at all. Like it's just it kind of like takes you out of the movie.
It's annoying.
It's weird.
Yeah.
All right,
Joe Berlinger, he's amazing.
Yes, agreed. Okay. Well, I know what you're going to say to this one, Brandon, too. The Conjuring or Poltergeist?
Poltergeist.
I do love Poltergeist, but Conjuring. Yeah, I'm going to do Conjuring.
Logging off.
Yeah.
You're logging off. That's it. I'm done. Okay, well, here we go. Maybe I can redeem myself a little bit. Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer?
This hurts me because I love these Scream because I'm going to Sydney and Gail Scream. Yeah.
Probably Scream.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Scream too. I was going to talk about the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I'll just move right along. Pumpkinhead or Wishmaster?
Oh, damn.
Oh, I mean, for me, not even a question. Pumpkinhead is I love Pumpkinhead so much. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's
good.
That's no shade to Wishmaster though, because I like Wishmaster as well. But Pumpkinhead is like up here.
Yeah, I have to go with Pumpkinhead. I love Lance Henriksen and
me too.
I'm a big fan of folk horror. I do love Wishmaster's so fucking fun. Wishmaster's got like that spooky energy where it's like we're just gonna go crazy. It's
oh yeah, absolutely, and they do it. And Divoff is amazing as Wishmaster. Yeah, he's perfect for that. Okay, so some sci-fi here: Alien or Predator?
Oh, Alien. Ripley forever. Yeah, Ripley Queen. Alien and Aliens.
There are some right answers, but although if you said Predator, I'd support that too.
Predator's a great movie, but Alien and Aliens, that's two of the greatest movies ever made. So, and Ripley, one of the greatest characters of all time.
And the alien creature design is just like unbeatable.
Yes. So talk about a movie that holds up almost 50. What is it? 50 years later. You know, like just both of those movies. That's right. Ripley is Queen. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if you get any shirts from Cult of Cult. I actually got this from them. They have a Ripley shirt. It's a very cute picture of Ripley holding the cat, and it says "Best Cat Mom Ever." So if you're looking for a new shirt, check out Cult of Cult.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 4 more. The VHS films or Creepshow. So some anthology horrors.
Creepshow 2 to me is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, so I'm going to pick Creepshow.
Oh man, that's a really tough one. I used to live on a lake, so that thing with the blob in the lake scared the shit out of me. Oh my god!
To this day, that's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. To this day,
the raft. Yeah,
the raft.
Terrifying. I beat you, and then
terrifying.
I love it. I love they don't explain what the hell it is. Just this thing.
Mhm,
Yeah, I
mhm.
think I have to go with. So I watched all the newer creep shows, and they're fine, but I might go with VHS, even though some of the newer VHSs have been like, eh. But I think for the most part, it's a stronger series.
Yeah, I think so. I do love them all, though. The new
Yeah.
VHS Halloween is fantastic. If you haven't watched it yet, it's really good. There's an Uchi Coochie scene for like a little baby. I won't say anything more. And the last one called Home Haunt. I don't know. Have you seen it? Have either of you
Yeah.
seen
Yeah, yeah.
it? Oh, okay. So
I thought the
then
last story was the best one.
the Home Haunt was
Yeah, I thought that
fantastic.
was the best story
Um,
in the new one.
and I actually just got to sit down with Sarah Nicklin, who's the mother in Home Haunt. So
Oh
Oh,
wow,
stay
nice.
tuned. I did an
that's
interview with her.
cool.
That's
That
awesome.
was really cool. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Tremors or Critters? Some creature features.
Oh man.
Critters. I love Critters and Critters too, but I love the
Yeah,
original
yeah.
Tremors.
I might have to
Too.
go with Critters because the Tremor sequels are really bad.
They are. Yes.
So
Yeah,
Although
bad.
the Critters kind of goes off the rails after
yeah.
2, I
After
think.
two, yeah,
It goes off the rails, but like in a very like Ghoulies 80s way where it
yeah.
just
Ghoulies.
Yes.
more
Like,
slapstick.
oh my God. Yeah, Ghoulies go
Ghoulies.
to college. Um, one of the worst but best movie. Or Troll 2 is
Yeah.
also a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. Some classics here. So I got some heavy hitters. A Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th.
Nightmare on Elm
You're
Street.
dead to me, Aaron. Oh God, I can't pick between that. Oh
You
God.
can't pick. Yeah. That's
Oh
tough.
my
I
God,
know.
those are like two of my top 5 all times.
At least I prefaced it with some heavy hitters here.
I'm gonna have to go with Elm Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. How can you pick? And that leads me to the last one, which I think is also difficult. Maybe Halloween or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh my God, what are you doing, Aaron? I quit the show.
So that's like a trick question. So if you go by like the entire like catalog of each,
Yeah, like the whole frame, like all the films. So like
Ugh.
Jaws, right? In Jaws, the first movie's great, but then the sequels aren't so great. So
I like
all the Halloween films and all the Texas Chainsaw films.
I like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the first one better than the first Halloween. But going through the back catalogs, the TCM franchise is a hot mess.
Yeah.
I do love the sequel.
Exactly.
Some stuff peppered in that's okay, but yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I guess.
So Halloween is my favorite movie of all time. So I'm gonna do Halloween. But I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite movie ever. I've probably seen that more than any movie I've ever seen. I just love everything about it. So, but I do love the original. Again, original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's like top 5 ever. These were hard. Those are hard ones.
It's so good. Hard, but hopefully kind of fun. And speaking
Yeah,
of Texas
absolutely.
Chainsaw Massacre, when yes, of course, when the 4K came out, I was very much on the fence. But when I watched it in 4K, it was like watching it again for the first time. It was
Oh wow.
I haven't seen that
Okay.
yet. 4K. That's cool.
Oh, check it out in 4K. It's so good because you notice things like in the background that you've never seen, and that's what I liked about it. Experiencing it
That's
in a new
cool.
way, like noticing things that I missed all those other years because we watched it on tube TVs on VHS. So, and Julie says Michael Myers is the most terrifying horror villain. All right.
Not
Well,
Annabelle.
Brandon and go ahead. And, yeah. Brandon and Matt, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Awesome.
on your books, on your
Thank you.
films, on everything you're doing, and all the conventions coming up. Hopefully, we'll get to meet up at a convention at some point. This has been so much fun. I guess my very last question is how can folks find you on social media if you want to be found? What are your Instagram handles if you'd like to share them? Or
Go ahead, Brandon.
bpshorror.com. I think my link tree is in there, so you can probably find it. But I'm on all the social medias. I'm mostly on Instagram and Blue Sky. But yeah, if you hit me up on any of the platforms, I'll respond. Yeah.
And I'm on Facebook and Instagram, so please, send me a like, send me a friend request, a note. That'd be great.
Yes. Awesome. Well, you guys are amazing. This has been so much fun. If you
Thank
are
you,
watching,
Aaron.
thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
Like and subscribe to A&B Horror Movies because it helps my channel. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Aaron. This has been great.
And awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.
Guys.